how many people want to hear some things today. Today I'm going to be talking about ants. So I'm going to give it a minute, see how many people want to jump on here. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm using a new streaming service, so I probably won't be able to see your comments right now. But I wanted to say hi if you're watching. If you're getting value from this, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the follows. If you guys like what we're doing, leave us some love. Give us a comment. Give us some love. However you want. If anything that I say today inspires you or inspires somebody else, please share it with someone you know. So my name is Mark Carpenter. I'm with Local House Buyers here in Oklahoma City. And today I wanted to talk about ants. People are like, what? What are you talking about? Ants. And so ants, it's an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. And so the S is just plural for multiple ants. And so I wanted to talk about ants because, with all the self-improvement, discipline and stuff, you would think that if you're waking up running every single day, if you're doing 30, 40, 50 push-ups as soon as you get out of bed, you'd think those ants would go away. Sometimes they don't. Why they don't, I don't know. Is it Satan? I don't know. I try not to give him that much credit. I believe God is so much stronger than that, and so I really try not to give him credit for my thoughts. But what I would say is, if you're having them automatic negative thoughts, first thing to do is to be aware that that's what they are. Okay? Today, I got up this morning, I did 45 push-ups. I upped my push-up count. I was doing 35 in the morning, 35 at midday, and 35 at lunch. And that was getting easy for me, so I've moved that up to 45 and just incrementally trying to improve. My goal is to get me better than I was the day before and complete my phase 1 challenge and things like that. If you want more information about that, you can check out my other videos. But automatic negative thoughts. Let's really talk about those. People mistake feelings or thoughts for how they are or who they are. Now let me be clear. If you wake up every single morning, and I'm getting a lot of this information from Bob Proctor, kind of John Ossoff area, and Tony Robbins. So those are kind of some of the guys I follow on the Mind. Jim Quick also. And they say that most people, unless you're really trying to self-improve, unless you're really reading, unless you're really trying to get better, if you're just working your job, if you're just going through the day-to-day, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you, I'm just saying, but if you're getting better every single day, then you probably don't fall into this category. But most people, they do something over and over again. They go to their job, they wake up, they take care of their kids, they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that, and they get these thoughts, and they think that that's who they are. Well, your thoughts are controllable, and a thought is not who you are. Trust me, it's not. Because, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to kill that person that just cut me off? I have. And then I thought better, right? And so your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts don't control you. You can control your thoughts. And so what is an automatic negative thought? I don't know what the heck it is, but they're annoying and they suck. And when you first start growing and you first start in self-development, the first thing is just noticing that that's what that is. Because if you don't notice it, that thought is running your life. Here's one, for example. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a drunk. Or I'm not, yeah, that's what it is. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a drunk. Alcoholics go to meetings. That's a thought. That's a belief system that you can have in your life. That's a very damaging thought. Another thought is, Christ in me is stronger than the wrong desires in me. That's a thought that you can choose to have. You could also be an affirmation in your life. And so when these automatic negative thoughts are coming, what do you do? Because they're going to come. Doesn't matter where you're at in life. It doesn't matter if you're 8 years old and you're going to school, or if you're 50 years old and you're trying to start a business. It doesn't matter. You're going to get ants. Those are automatic negative thoughts. They're going to come. If you figure out a way to stop them, find me and let's visit about that, because I would love to figure out a way to stop them. But this morning, I got up, I did my push-ups, I went out, did my run, or did my walk, actually. It was freezing cold, didn't want to do it. The thoughts were going, oh my gosh, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. And so what do I do to diminish the automatic negative thoughts? I don't know how to get rid of them. I don't know how to stop them from coming to your mind, but I do know how to shift it. And how do I shift it? I change my state, okay? And without going into state, your state is just how you feel. And the things that control your state is your physiology. So going for a run, going for a walk, but sometimes that doesn't do it. And today it wasn't. Like, my mind was flooding me with stuff that I know is not true about my team, about my business partner, about our people, about my wife, about my kids, and it wouldn't stop. Right? It's the chatterbox, is what Stephen Furtick calls it, and so it wouldn't stop. And I'm already changing my state. I'm walking. And so what do I do? One of the things I do is I get grateful. Gratitude diminishes fear. It diminishes anxiety. It diminishes worry and hurry in your life. Gratitude changes everything. So one of the first things I do is I just thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the awareness that I know that these thoughts are not who I am or what I'm about, and I don't have to believe them. So gratitude, number one. Number two is, how can I turn these thoughts into ways that I can turn around and help people? So maybe some of those thoughts have some truth in them, and maybe it's my job as the thought that's coming in is to take that thought captive and make it obedient and not sin in that thought, but to try to serve somebody else in that thought. So maybe that thought has value in, there might be a little bit of truth to it, but the way that it's coming at me is not my truth. I don't know if that makes sense, but I basically say, what I'm thinking about that person, some of it may be true, but especially if you're using things like always and never, that never works out. That's not true, because you can almost always look at somebody and say, well, they don't always do that because they did this one time, or they never do this, right? So you've got to really take that thought captive and say, you know what? This is not true. And then break that thought down of why it's not true. And so especially if they're thoughts about yourself, like the chatterbox loves to do that to me. Oh, you're never going to make it. And Alex is doing so much more than you. And Jack's doing so much more than you. And, all these other people are have more houses than you and stuff like that. Man, just don't let that in your life, and bless those people. Turn around and say, you know what, Lord, I just pray for those people that just came into my life. I know that wasn't from you, and I just want to pray for them. I want to bless them. Thank you, God, for everything that they've taught me. Thank you, God, for everything that they believed in me. Thank you, God, for everything that I have in my life. And Lord, I just pray a blessing, and I pray that they continue to prosper. I pray. So that helps. That helps a lot, because you're getting grateful, and you're pushing that, and you're saying, you know what, that's not my thought. And my Lord says to pray for my enemies. These guys are not my enemies, but if that stuff's coming to my head, I want to pray for them. And same thing, like me and my friend Jared, we had a falling out one time, and I was angry, and I was angry, and I was angry, and I prayed to God, and I just said, hey, God, is there any way that you can allow me to start praying for this guy? Because I was mad at him. And what he did was he changed my heart, and I continued to pray for him, and then I figured out, well, I was the one that was actually in the wrong, right? And so thoughts are really, really interesting, and I challenge you to learn a lot about them. Some great books on that. John Ostroff, The Answer, Bob Bob Proctor, The Secret, I believe, is one he wrote. Anything Tony Robbins talks a lot on the mind and how it works. And then change your state. So after my run, I got in the cold shower and I did my gratitude exercise, but just getting in a cold shower changes your state. You pop up like this and the cold water hits you and you're like, and you're just breathing. And you're just breathing, okay? And so change your state, change your thoughts. And if you're just getting, like, if you're brand new to self-development, if you're just getting started in this, write them down. Write down your thoughts. And then write down why they're not true. Write down God's truth, why that's not true if you're a believer. That's what I'll do sometimes if I'm really having a rough day or I'm being hard on myself, because I tend to be really, really hard on myself. And so when you're really, really hard on yourself, though, you're not very graceful and you're not very loving, and you're very hard on other people as well. And so I have to really, really focus in on that and try not to be that way. Hope this provided value to you today. God bless you. And let me know how you counteract those ants, those automatic negative thoughts. Thank you, and have a blessed day.